In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on January 31st, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Milwaukee Bucks versus San Antonio Spurs. The Milwaukee Bucks and the San Antonio Spurs are set to face off on Friday in an exciting NBA matchup at the Frost Bank Center. This game brings together two teams with very different trajectories this season, making it an intriguing contest to watch. The Milwaukee Bucks will once again be without Bobby Portis, who remains sidelined, while AJ Green is currently listed as questionable for the matchup. On the other side, the San Antonio Spurs are closely monitoring Sidy Cissokho's status, as he is also considered questionable for this game. The Bucks, led by their 2 All-Star players Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, are heading into San Antonio with strong momentum despite their recent loss. The second half of January has been particularly productive for Milwaukee, as they have compiled an impressive 9-3 straight-up record over their last 12 games. Additionally, they have been solid against the spread, covering in 6 of their last 8 matchups. While their recent loss to the Portland Trail Blazers on Tuesday was a setback, it is worth noting that they were playing their second game in as many nights, which may have contributed to their struggles. The Bucks enter this contest as 3.5-point favorites, a logical line considering they have emerged victorious in 4 of their last 5 meetings against the Spurs. This includes a commanding 121-105 win in early January, further solidifying their dominance in this head-to-head series. Rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama will undoubtedly be energized heading into this game after recently receiving the honor of being named to his first All-Star team. The talented Frenchman was selected as a reserve, a testament to his exceptional performance this season. Wembanyama has been a force on both ends of the floor, averaging an impressive 24 points, 10.8 rebounds, and an astounding 3.9 blocks per game. However, his performance against the Bucks earlier this season was far from his usual standards, as he was held to just 10 points and 10 rebounds while shooting only 40% from the field. The Spurs as a team have struggled significantly on the defensive end in their last 3 outings, allowing opponents to convert 39.6% of their 3-point attempts. Additionally, their rebounding woes have continued, as evidenced by the Los Angeles Clippers grabbing 17 offensive rebounds against them on Wednesday. Addressing these weaknesses will be critical if they hope to be competitive against the Bucks. Milwaukee's most recent game against the Trail Blazers was a disappointing showing, as they were unable to maintain their intensity despite a strong start from Giannis Antetokounmpo. However, given that they were playing the second game of a back-to-back set, some level of fatigue likely played a role in their lackluster performance. Meanwhile, the Spurs have been struggling for quite some time and will undoubtedly be frustrated after competing in a close battle with the Clippers, only to get blown out in the latter stages of the game on Wednesday. These two teams last met a little under 3.5 weeks ago in a game where the Bucks dominated, securing a 16-point victory as 4.5-point favorites on their home floor. Milwaukee asserted their dominance in that contest, with 3 of their starters scoring over 20 points and 3 bench players delivering impactful performances with over 20 minutes of solid play. Interestingly, the Bucks did not even have their best shooting night, as they connected on 47.8% of their field goal attempts. However, they made up for it by hitting 19 3-pointers and completely controlling the boards, an area in which the Spurs have been struggling significantly. Defensively, Milwaukee did an excellent job holding San Antonio to just 36.8% shooting from the field and effectively containing Wembanyama, limiting him to a mere 10 points and 10 rebounds. Even if the Spurs managed to narrow the gap slightly in this rematch, they still appear to be at a disadvantage. San Antonio has struggled to cover the spread at home this season, holding an 8-12 against the spread record, while Milwaukee has covered in 6 of its last 8 games. The first matchup between these two teams showcased Milwaukee's defensive strength, as the Spurs were limited to just 36.8% shooting. shooting. The Bucks have consistently demonstrated their ability to force tough shots and disrupt their opponent's offensive rhythm, while San Antonio has been largely ineffective from all areas of the floor. Given these factors, Milwaukee should once again be able to stifle the Spurs' offense and dictate the pace of the game. On the offensive end, the Bucks' elite three-point shooting, as evidenced by their 1-9 for 4-2 performance from deep in the previous meeting, presents a significant challenge for San Antonio's weak perimeter defense. Milwaukee has also excelled at protecting the ball while securing second-chance opportunities, evidenced by their double-digit offensive rebounding performance in the first game against the Spurs. When it comes to experience versus youth, the advantage overwhelmingly favors Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been on an absolute tear recently, averaging an astounding 37 points, 14.3 rebounds, and shooting an efficient 65% from the field over his last 3 games. He will undoubtedly be highly motivated to perform well in this matchup, particularly against Wembanyama, a player many have speculated could be his successor in the years to come. The Bucks have had ample time to rest, as they have not played since Tuesday, giving them a significant advantage in terms of recovery and preparation. Given these factors, Milwaukee is in an excellent position to bounce back from their recent loss with a strong performance, covering the spread as favorites in this contest. So the Milwaukee Bucks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Milwaukee managed to put up 121 points in their first matchup against the Spurs, and there is reason to believe they will surpass that total in this game. San Antonio's defense has been porous in recent games, allowing an average of 128.5 points per contest over their last 6 outings. Given the Bucks' sharp three-point shooting and ability to exploit defensive weaknesses, they are well positioned to score upwards of 125 points once again. On the other hand, playing at home should provide a boost for the Spurs. Historically, San Antonio has seen an increase of 4 points in their scoring average and a 1.2% improvement in field goal percentage when playing at the Frost Bank Center. They will likely be more efficient in the paint and continue minimizing turnovers, which should contribute to a higher scoring affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Celtics versus New Orleans Pelicans. The Boston Celtics are set to travel to the Smoothie King Center on Friday night, where they will face off against the New Orleans Pelicans in an interconference matchup. The Celtics, who currently hold the second-place position in the Eastern Conference standings with an impressive 33-15 record, are entering this contest fresh off a dominant 122-100 home victory over the Chicago Bulls on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Pelicans are struggling near the bottom of the Western Conference, sitting at 14th place with a disappointing 12-36 record. They are currently mired in a 4-game losing streak, having suffered a heartbreaking 137-136 home defeat against the Dallas Mavericks on Wednesday night. This matchup marks the second and final meeting between these two teams this season, with the Celtics having previously secured a narrow 120-119 victory at home on January 12th. Boston could potentially be shorthanded once again for this game, as key rotation player Sam Hauser is listed as questionable. On the other hand, the New Orleans Pelicans have already ruled out Daniel Theis and star forward Brandon Ingram, both of whom will not be available for this contest. Coming into this game, I had high expectations for this New Orleans team and genuinely believed that their lack of an experienced center would not significantly impact their overall performance. However, it has become increasingly evident that injuries have been the primary factor hampering their success. The Pelicans possess a talented core featuring the likes of Zion Williamson, Ingram, DeJounte Murray, C.J. McCollum, and Trey Murphy, all of whom have the ability to compete with an elite team like the Boston Celtics. In fact, when these teams met earlier this month, New Orleans nearly pulled off an upset despite the absence of Ingram. During that game, Murray put together an outstanding performance, contributing 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, ultimately leading the Pelicans to a narrow 1-point loss. While the Celtics are undoubtedly one of the best teams in the NBA, fully capable of dominating their opponents on any given night, the Pelicans have struggled with consistency throughout the season. Despite this, Boston has had difficulties covering large spreads, which is something to consider when assessing the betting line for this game. The Celtics currently hold a 19-28-1 record against the spread this season, and their performance as a double-digit favorite has been less than stellar, as they are just 8-11 against the spread in their last 19 games in such situations. Meanwhile, the Pelicans are the healthiest they have been all season, and their recent performances reflect that. 5 of their 12 total wins have come within the past 3 weeks, showcasing their potential when they have a more complete roster. Additionally, New Orleans has been notably stronger at home, securing 8 of their 12 12 victories at the Smoothie King Center. Their previous matchup against Boston in January demonstrated their resilience as they managed to cover the spread as a double-digit underdog, losing by just a single point. At this point, the Celtics are simply coasting through games, doing just enough to secure wins without necessarily aiming for blowout victories. Whether they win by 2 points or double digits does not seem to matter to them, so the New Orleans Pelicans to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. It is somewhat surprising that neither of these teams ranks particularly high in terms of pace of play, especially considering their offensive capabilities. However, this is not a major concern, as New Orleans has struggled on the defensive end of the court. When playing at home, the Pelicans are allowing their opponents to shoot an alarming 48.4% from the field and 36.3% from beyond the arc. Conversely, Boston has not been a lockdown defensive team on the road either, as they allow their opponents to shoot 45.2% from the field and 36.3% from three-point range. Recent trends further support the expectation of a high-scoring affair. The Pelicans have seen the total go over in 5 of their last 7 games, while the Celtics have hit the over in 3 of their last 5 contests. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Phoenix Suns versus Golden State Warriors. In an exciting Western Conference showdown taking place on Friday night in the city by the Bay, the Golden State Warriors will play host to the Phoenix Suns. This matchup features 2 teams that have had contrasting recent performances. The Warriors enter this contest with momentum, having secured back-to-back victories, while the Suns had their 3-game winning streak snapped in their most recent outing. This loss halted what had been a strong stretch of performances for Phoenix, and they will now look to bounce back against a familiar foe. The Phoenix Suns come into this game with the advantage of a fully healthy roster, as they will have all key players available. Meanwhile, the Warriors are still dealing with some notable absences, as they will once again be without Jonathan Kuminga and Draymond Green due to injuries. The unpredictability of both teams throughout the season has made for an interesting dynamic. Golden State has struggled offensively at times, failing to consistently produce points, while the Suns have encountered difficulties on the defensive end, often allowing opponents to capitalize on scoring opportunities. The last time these 2 teams squared off, Golden State managed to edge out Phoenix in a closely contested battle, securing a 109-105 victory on December 28. In that matchup, the Warriors covered as 6.5-point home favorites, with Jonathan Kuminga delivering an outstanding individual performance, dropping 34 points on the Suns. Notably, Phoenix was without their star player Devin Booker in that game, which undoubtedly impacted their offensive output. This time around, the Suns will be at full strength and will have all of their primary contributors on the court, while Golden State remains shorthanded without the services of Kuminga and Green. The absence of these key players places additional pressure on Kevin Looney to step up and make an impact for the Warriors. Looney recently showcased his ability to contribute in a big way when he torched the Oklahoma City Thunder for 18 points and 4 blocks in just 25 minutes of action. His presence in the paint will be critical for Golden State as they attempt to contend with Phoenix's versatile lineup. Heading into this matchup, the Suns had been one of the hottest teams in the league, stringing together impressive performances before running into the Minnesota Timberwolves, who ended their winning streak. Meanwhile, the Warriors are coming off an impressive victory against the red-hot Oklahoma City Thunder, marking their 3rd win in their last 4 games. Golden State appears to be finding a rhythm, but the absence of key players could present challenges against a Suns team that has been playing some of its best basketball of the season. One potential bright spot for Golden State is the expected return of superstar Stephen Curry, which would undoubtedly provide a boost to their offense. However, despite Curry's presence, it is difficult to fully trust the Warriors given their inconsistency this season. On the other hand, while I have been critical of the Suns throughout the year, it is hard to ignore the fact that they have won 7 of their last 10 games and appear to be hitting their stride. Additionally, Phoenix has historically had the upper hand in recent meetings with Golden State, having won 7 of their last 10 head-to-head matchups. The Warriors' struggles without Kuminga and Green cannot be overlooked, and too often this season, we have seen instances where Curry is the only player on the team delivering a strong performance. Given these factors, both teams present their fair share of concerns, making this a difficult game to predict with absolute confidence. One of the key aspects of this game will be Golden State's ability, or lack thereof, to contain Kevin Durant. The former Warriors star remains one of the most dominant scorers in the league, and his presence will pose a significant challenge for Golden State's depleted defense. Phoenix must capitalize on the Warriors' injuries and make a concerted effort to control the glass. Winning the rebounding battle and limiting Golden State's second chance opportunities will be crucial for the Suns to assert their dominance in this matchup. While arguments can be made in favor of either team, the Suns appear to be the more well-rounded and dangerous squad at this moment. Given their recent form and Golden State's ongoing injury concerns, Phoenix looks to have a slight edge heading into this contest. As a result, I believe they represent solid betting value in this game, so the Phoenix Suns money line is our full game side pick. Looking at the total points projection for this game, history suggests that we might not see an overly high-scoring affair. When these two teams last met in Phoenix in late November, the game stayed under the projected total. Despite the presence of elite scorers such as Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry, neither team has been particularly high-scoring throughout the season. Golden State has shown an ability to lock in defensively when needed, as evidenced by their strong defensive effort in their most recent outing. Meanwhile, the Suns have been less consistent on the defensive end, but they will likely look to tighten up in this crucial Western Conference battle. While this game is not expected to be a defensive slugfest, it also does not project to be a shootout. Instead, we should see a balanced contest with moderate scoring. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.